What's up, everyone? We are back, and today I'm going over what I am doing lately in the past 4 or 5 days. That is making a ton of currency. Mostly because with the Magic Find strat, people are using a lot of the stuff that we are farming and what we are selling, so that helps a ton. Now, I'll probably put something like 12 to 15 divines an hour in the thumbnail and the title of the video, but to be honest, I think that's undercutting it. I think I'm making more than that, substantially a good amount more. But I'm too busy, killing shit and making profit to deal with that nonsense where I'm tracking all that. So I'm just going to have to take my word for it. If you do this for an hour, you'll see, oh, wow, yeah, I'm actually making a ton. Probably even more than was stated in the video. So let's just jump into it. Now, for the Atlas passive tree, you can see we are utilizing two main things, Delirium and Harvest, along with the Searing Exarch altars. If you are doing tier 14 plus maps, you can do the Searing altars. They're very nice. They give you a lot of extra currency. You can still do this strategy with white maps or any maps. Delirium orbs are really what we're going for, and they drop on any map level. I'm pretty sure every map level, at least up to area level 72, or down to level 72, I should say, because I've dropped them on that white map before. And also the harvest doesn't really matter anyway. It's going to drop you lifeforce. Anyways, so I go up here, I go down here, and I get any node that helps Delirium appear, because if you notice, we are taking 7th gate. What this node does is when you have this allocated, as long as you have all 6 of these gateways right here allocated, it gives you every map option on the map device. So you can see now I have Harvest. I might have said Delirium a minute ago. I mean Harvest. We are forcing. So we want Delirium to appear, but we want Harvest to appear every time, so we're going to make that happen by using the Harvest on the map device. Now keep in mind you have to have all these gateways allocated, so even though it doesn't look like I'm doing anything with this one, you still have to put a point into it. So when I put a point into this one, I also put a point into this one. Now the only Delirium node we don't really mess with, we do not go over here, because this one makes it so Delirium orbs cannot be found in your maps, and these are just generally not amazing. This one can be nice. Takes an additional 3 seconds for dissipating the Delirium fog. You might consider taking some points out of things. If there's some other stuff you'd like to do with this tree, you can always take some points out of the quantity. Quantity helps with the life force dropped from the harvest, so you want as much quantity as possible. But if you absolutely have to, you can take points out of this, or you can take points out of these, which increase the modifiers of your non-unique maps, which means the bad modifiers are increased, so it makes the map harder, but it also increases the other modifiers like quantity, making it so you get more life force. Also, as well as getting more items as you're going around killing things. Now I had a variation of this where I was also putting the points into Remnants of the Past and the Conquerors. That's really annoying to say. But I ended up taking it out because they just were not dropping. And then also with the 2 maps I'm ping-ponging, one of them being the Jungle Valley map, the boss takes a little bit of time. So if I do not get a Delirium mirror and I am on Jungle Valley, I don't even really go and kill the boss. I just go in, do the harvest, see if there's any good altars that spawn that I might want to finish running the map. But if that doesn't happen, I don't get any good altars, I don't even kill the boss. I just run the next map. And you can see right here, the Delirium ward types in your map gain +1 count on map completion. Map completion means you kill the boss. So the only time I kill the boss is when I get a Delirium mirror, and that's just to get that 1 extra stack of Delirium. That is very important. Helps a lot. You'll drop a lot more orbs that way. We are taking the Baptized by Fire. This gives you an additional 10% chance to get progress on your bar when you are doing tier 14 plus maps. You make sure that's highlighted. That's how you get the altars. And also, once you pop a Searing Exarch mob and see the red flash, that gives you a progress point towards being able to kill the boss at the top with a full ring and get the invitation. And they are worth a lot right now. They're worth about 2.4 divines at the recording this video. And if you save up, 4 or 5 of them, you can sell them for even more than that. You can go even as high as 3 divine per invitation, and they will sell because you're selling them with more than, a couple of them, 5, 6, 7 of them. People will buy them in bulk just as a time save. So Baptized by Fire just basically gives you a 10% chance to get 2 notches in that circle instead of 1. Now I go down here and I get the Love by the Sun and Dimensional Barrier, and basically stuff that makes it so the things I don't want can't appear, and the chance of me getting a delirium mirror are even higher. Now, you could force delirium with sextants, but I don't recommend it because they are very expensive because of the juicing strategy. So just got to kind of rely on luck on that aspect unless you really want to risk it. It might be worth it. Well, I guess it would technically be worth it to buy the delirium sextants, but you definitely do not need it. The mirror appears enough to where it's not the end of the world to not use that charged compass / sextant. Now, it is not needed, but I do run a sextant, one of them, when I run this. And like I said, you do not need to do this, but it does help, and it is worth it. And that is the life force drop by harvest monsters in your maps is duplicated. Harvest monster maps have 100% more life. Harvests in your maps contain at least one crop of blue plants. Now, there are 3 colors, purple, yellow, and blue. Harvest. The reason I run the blue one is because it's the cheapest. Why is it the cheapest? Because if you look, if you do the price check on these, I don't have a Wake POE trade up. Blue is worth the least. Now, it's not saying much because it's still worth a ton. It's about 2,800 life force per divine. So I've been selling these at 2,800. 28,000 per 10 divine. I wait until I save a bunch up before I sell it. But you can see for 9 divine, 18,000. And the purple for 10 divine, it's 25,000. So the blue and purple, pretty similar. And the yellow is worth the most at the time of recording this video. Check that. If you're watching this in a week or 2 weeks, well, actually in a couple weeks, it probably won't change. This will probably be pretty stagnant for most of the rest of the league. But say you catch this video on the next season, you know, sometimes these fluctuate madly. And they're all, you know, especially in the beginning of the league, they are very much the same price. Now, because the harvest maps contain at least one crop of blue plants, and we don't want nothing but double blues, we want all the colors, I go over here and I take the ones that reduce the chance for blue plants to grow. Now, I'll show you a harvest a couple times. You'll see more if you've never done this or never done harvest before. But there's always going to be a blue plant, and we do not want the other plant to also be a blue plant. We want it to be one of the other colors that are worth a little bit more. So we are going to reduce the amount that the second plant on the harvest is going to be blue. Now, again, this isn't stagnant. I take the chance for Maven's invitations to drop from bosses, but you could take these out easily and put them in something like Essence or something like that. That is more. You can do the Trial of Glory, get some improved Labyrinth Trials. Those always sell pretty well too. There's stuff you can change with this. This is just what I'm doing. It's very simple, it's very quick, and it's relatively easy. And the last thing, I know some people are going to say in the comments, why are you going up the middle when you're going to the left? You should just go to the left, go around and save a couple points. Well, that's because I want the 2% chance for one monster drop an additional connected map, because I'm taking singular focus, which means maps are 200% more likely to be favored maps, and other maps cannot drop. Now, I probably should drop this, and you might want to too, because dropping other maps, especially if you're running tier 14 plus, is not a bad thing, because once you save up enough, you can do the very good invitation farming strategy, which I have a video on already. You can check that out after this video. But I want enough map sustain to ping pong between maps that we will go over in a second, so that's why I'm going up the middle and not going to the left. For the maps, I am running Jungle Valley and Mesa. So you're going to want a handful of favorite slots to map sustain. It's on the end of world. If you don't, you can still do this strategy with most maps, or just ones that, you know, you have lying around. But what you want to do, per usual, is put a bunch on, say, Jungle Valley, and then put a couple on Mesa. Like I said, you do not need all these unlocked. You could tell what you need to unlock these by hovering over them. The only one I don't have unlocked is the Maven's Invitation, the Feared, but that is fine. You just want maybe 5 or 6 of these to get your favorite slots. You just click on them and then click what you want on them. Very simple. And because of the connected map nodes, and because these are connected, they are going to ping pong. So when you're doing Mesa, you're going to find more Jungle Valley maps. When you run Jungle Valley, you'll find a lot of Mesa, as well as, you know, Jungle Valley. They can still drop maps of the maps that you are in, especially because of singular focus, but that is just how you map sustain and get your maps to drop. Also, you are going to want at least one watchstone, and that, well, if you are running the compass, that is because that's where the compasses go. They go straight on the watchstone. On your map device, if you hit G, that is the short key for that. So I'm going to right click, and I'm going to put my life force node compass on the watchstone. When I run my maps, I want to run them with as much quantity and quality as possible. So remember, always chisel your maps as white, so you get 5% per chisel, so you can max it out with 4 chisels at 20%. And then what I do is I alch them, and then I val them. Now, the reason I can do this with this build is because thanks to things like this charm where I cannot take reflected elemental damage, I really can run every mod. Some are a little bit more annoying than others. For example, cannot leech from monsters is not great on this build. I actually run out of mana relatively often, but I kind of just power through it. Or, you know, it comes up, you know, this is a cannot leech from monsters. When it does come up, I'll usually, if I have enough maps saved up, I will just run it, or I'll just get rid of it. I won't even run it. But run them as hard as you can. You do not need a map like this to be able to run and get this very profitable, but the quantity helps with the life force, so you do want to run maps as hard as you can. But again, if you have to do blue maps, or, you know, rare maps that aren't corrupted, and you have to kind of pick and choose mods, that's fine too. It's not the end of the world. You want as much quantity as possible and pack size, but, you know, if you can't do it, you know, work up to it. You can make enough currency to buy items to make your build, if you're on Trade League, that is strong enough to do this. When I run Jungle Valley, just like this, remember to always force your harvest. Make sure you still have uses on your sextants if you are using the sextants. Don't run one when it wears out if you are using them. It is a bummer. I swear I find the best harvest after the first one when I realize I haven't re-upped on my sextant. So put it in, make sure you have your harvest, run it. First thing you're going to do is see if it has a delirium mirror. Now this one does have a delirium mirror, so what you're going to do, you're going to proc it, then you're going to back up, because the delirium counter that you can't see because my big ass head doesn't start going up until they have fully spawned. So don't go off killing shit or it's not going to count. Wait for them to spawn, then start killing them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to semi-clear as I go through. I'm going to pick up that fortunate card. And I just want to get to 5 stacks of delirium. Now you can't see because of my head, but you'll see the counter right there in the bottom left, and you want the leftmost counter to be at 5. If I see the harvest on my way, which I will on the way to the boss on this map, I'm going to skip it for now. I'm just going to go in, get to 5, and then go kill the boss, because that will put me at 6 stacks, because remember, completing the map, aka killing the boss, is going to give you that 6 stack. So now I have 5 stacks. I can make a V-line for the boss, and then I could go around and kill the boss. Now, what's nice about this map is the boss technically is not in the map until you do this little mini game where you spawn spiders. So all of your altars cannot spawn the boss mod thing. So you can spawn the quantity altars and pick those downsides if you can handle them. That will work with the life force from the harvest. So if you can, it's always good to get the quantity altars that you see as you are doing the delirium. It's going to spawn, hopefully. The hell is this bitch? Oh, I killed her already. Oh, oops. I killed her. Alright, see now we got 6 stacks. 6 stacks, so now you can end the delirium right here and wait for the pop. What we really want is delirium orbs. Now we didn't get one that time. The majority of the time you usually will get one. Sometimes you're unlucky, but oh well. Didn't get one that time. Go down, we're going to do the harvest. With harvest, all the plants are paired off in 2s. You always want to take the one with the higher number of blue monsters. Those are the ones with guaranteed life force. So you can see this one has 1 blue, this one has 2 blues. You want to do this one. This one is going to disappear 90% of the time. We do have a passive node in our Atlas tree that 10% of the time this will not wilt. This is ideal, but it doesn't always happen. See, it went away. But we want the 2 blue anyway. You hit it twice, it's going to spawn monsters. It'll spawn the first wave of white monsters, spawn a little bit harder monsters that can drop life force, then it'll spawn the guaranteed 2 rare to drop the life force. Then you go on to the next one. This one is all whites, we don't want that one. This one's all blue, we do this one. If both of the plants have nothing but whites, I usually just skip it. It means the life force isn't guaranteed. They can still drop a little bit of life force, but it's not guaranteed, and a lot of times they won't drop any at all. So unless you can kill them really fast, I can kill them really fast, and I skip them anyway, but if it takes you, you know, 10, 30 seconds to do some of these nodes, especially if you're using the sextant that doubles their life. It is going to make it take more time than it is worth, so you can skip those. If you ever run into any of these and there is an orange one that is a boss, you always want to do that one. It gives a lot of life force, not to mention it has a chance to drop a sacred blossom, which is the item needed to open the harvest boss. Harvest boss is not that hard if you can do it. It's worth it because it can drop you know, a Shaco helm that has a really good mod, but it also drops a crystallized life force that's actually worth more than the invitation. So if you can do it, it's worth a little bit more extra money if you can do it that way. Now, once the harvest is done, you can just leave the map. I don't full clear the map or anything like that. That's nonsense. We don't need to do that. Now, with Mesa, it is nice because if there is not a Delirium mirror, we can just go straight to the boss and then find the harvest. If there is a Delirium mirror, it is also easier than Jungle Valley because the boss is super easy to find. It is always in the middle of this big circle. See, there's no Delirium mirror. What am I going to do? I'm just going to run to the center. I'm going to find the boss right here in the arena in the very middle of the map. I'm going to kill him, and then I'm going to run around, poke around the middle, see if I can find the harvest very quickly. There it is. Run around. This one is a lucky one that has 2 sets of 5. Run around, see the ones with blue monsters. This one has a blue. I'd do this one. Go down here. This one has a blue. I'd do that one. And once I did the harvest, I would just be done. 2 yellow. That's a good one. 2 whites. I would skip this one. And then 1 blue. I would do that one. And then I would leave the map. Now, if you were running low on maps, you might want to full clear the map just so you get more maps. I have a bunch of maps saved up, so that is why I am doing that. But if you need more maps, again, with the 1 additional monster can drop a connected node, sometimes you want to full clear the map just so you can get your map saved up. You aren't running into the trap of just running on the maps that you enjoy running. That can happen, and it is a huge pain in the ass. Now, once you get Delirium Orbs, what you're going to want to do with them is re-roll them, and that is why this strategy is super powerful right now. Because one of the easier orbs to roll is worth a ton right now, being the currency orb. And it is weighted so that it comes up very often. What you want to do is put a Horticrafting station by clicking this arrow, edit, decorations, searching Horticrafting in here, dragging and dropping it into your base. That is how you have the Horticrafting station. You take it here and you use some of the blue life force that you saved up. And you are going to have plenty, and you are going to want to find the one that says change stack Delirium Orbs into a different one. Now there's 3 we want to keep. Divination card, the currency one, and the scarab one. So you just roll 1 or 2 of these at a time. I do not roll more than that. Sometimes you have bad luck with a roll, and it sucks. You waste a whole of life force on just 1 bad roll. But just stick to rolling 1, 2 at a time. I'm going to roll this until it's either currency, scarab, or divine. There's a currency one, like I said, that is very easy to come up. There is 2 more currency ones, and if I don't have Awakened POE trade on right now because I just restarted my computer, these go for 3 to 1 divine. Very, very quickly. That is actually the best price. 3 of these for 1 divine. It is very simple. The divination and the scarabs, you can go 2 divine for 5 of them, get a little bit better deal. Same with the currency ones probably. I just don't try. You end up getting so many Delirium Orbs so quickly that I don't feel like low cutting or trying getting a little bit more profit. I just kind of sell them. 1 for 3 or 2 for 5 on the scarab and divination. But yeah, that's literally all you do. You can pop it in your stash, and then you can literally just set it. 1 divine for 3. That's how you do it. 1 divine for 3. The price you want is always on the outside. How many are selling is always in the middle. That's a good way to remember that. If you want to buy the compasses in bulk, sadly, I know people hate TFT, and I don't like using it either. But if you want to buy them in bulk, you can use POE Stack, which is a website. You just type in POE space stack in Google, you'll find it. I don't use that very often, especially for these. These are simple enough. But, you know, if you are going to use TFT, what you can do is you can go down to the bulk want to sell compass section. Affliction, softcore trades, bulk want to sell compasses right here. And you can just look for someone selling the blue plant one. Or if you want to spend a little bit more, you can do the yellow plant one and just get nothing but yellow plants because they're worth the most. But again, you're going to pay for it more up front. So you just go down and see, okay, this guy's got 8 blue plants, 30 cents each. That's for 4 charges, so you're technically spending what? 7 chaos per charge if you have 4 charges in a sextant. So 1 div for plus 81C for all. I would just go up, see his name, go at Nagasoki in here, at Nago whatever. Hey, I want to buy all of your blue plants. And hopefully they will respond, and you could get those compasses and stock up, which is what I do to get all of mine. See, I have a bunch of them saved up. But yeah, that's basically it, guys. You are just getting delirium orbs, re-rolling them. If there is a delirium mirror, but you are always forcing harvest, running the harvest because the life force is worth a ton right now, along with delirium orbs. So take advantage of that. Make some money. Go buy that headhunter that I now think is down to about 50 to 60 divines. You know, go get those dream items while this lasts. Next league is not going to feel like this. I'm excited for it to not feel like this, but I am also super stoked for people that tell me that's the first league that they've been able to get some of these higher end items. So that is amazing. So I like that. Like, comment, and subscribe in the channel. Let me know how your league is going in the comments. Let me know what build you're running. The build I am running is a cast on Great Ice Spear. I did a video on this. You can look for the thumbnail on my channel. It says still my favorite build. And I go over this. This is a more extreme example of it. Obviously, I've put a lot more money into it since that video weeks ago. So I wouldn't expect to be able to do this if you're kind of a newer player yet. If you do this strategy, you'll be doing this build in no time. But again, if you are interested in that, you can check. But again, thanks, guys. Make sure you go follow on twitch.tv/SafeOnTalk. I would appreciate it. Come hang out with me and our close-knit gang of PoE players. We'd love to have you, even if you're a new player, and we got some veterans there as well. But anyways, hopefully this works out for you guys, and we'll catch you on the next one.